All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming with another message. And this message is going to target the individual that's out there that's trying to work on themselves to the point of changing themselves in thinking that they could change themselves in a way that would be pleasing to the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah wants you to let Him change you from the inside out, not so much as you working on your flesh, thinking it's going to change. Because even when Yah change, do a work in you, it's not going to be like unto you doing a work on your flesh in hope that it's going to draw you to the bosom of the Father. We're so in tune with trying to work on ourselves, we fail to realize that ourselves is something to work on. Flesh is an enemy to flesh, okay? To its own self, okay? So just imagine you trying to work with your flesh to be whatever you think it should be or it could be. And it'll fight against you yourself. Our flesh is our own worst enemy. So therefore, when we trying to change or we trying to move in a positive direction or trying to or desiring to walk in the light and desiring to do the will of the Father and desiring to please the Most High Yah, you have to start with allowing Him to be the best that He can be, which is the best within you. Because Yah is not too tuned tune in to changing your outer man. He wants to change your inner man because your inner man is what's going to reign in the kingdom as a sheep or a goat. 99.15 trillion people who have existed on the earth really thought everything was about their flesh and how my flesh can go to church, my flesh can dress this way, my flesh can eat this way, my flesh can think this way, my flesh can act this way, my flesh can walk this way, my flesh can talk this way. Surely I can bring my flesh into a harmony with the Most High Yah. Can't happen. Flesh can't come into a harmony with the spirit. It is always a battle between the two. Okay. So, but when you allow, when I say allow, you know how they say you die to yourself? People don't understand what that means. That means stop thinking your flesh can conquer any or everything into any type of righteous, into any type of right, in anything that's upright or anything that represent light. Your flesh can't conquer that. But I, Sister Deborah, come here this morning to let you know that he that abide and come to abide in our spirit, he the one get that thing in control. He teaches your spirit how to get the flesh under the subjection. Do you know how it is impossible? It is impossible for us to really change ourselves in a way of anything righteous, upright, just. It's no way. It takes something greater than us, ourselves in this flesh. It takes the spirit of the Most High that would come in us. And when he comes in us, he's not going to bypass our spirit because that's where he resides. He's going to teach our spirit how to get our flesh under the subjection to our spirit itself. Why? Because that's where Yah abide at, in our spirit. That's where he teaches us from the level of our spirit. You see, our spirit is willing and our spirit desire to do right. to do righteous, but our flesh is weak to it. It fights against our spirit. But when Yah come in us and live in our spirit, it teaches us how to defeat our flesh. Can it teach us 100? Yes. But Yah ain't coming to win the flesh over. He coming to capture the spirit. That's it. Being redeemed is redeeming you from eternal death to life. Because came down here in the walking in the spirit, but then we got down here just as Adam and Eve had everything perfect and walked straight to darkness. That's what we all did. We all did it right behind them. But that's why heaven had a lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So he can send that down, okay, to guide us that have been redeemed, to guide us, those that came down in the light, back to the bosom of the Father. But guess what? It's still a form of you being the one that can be redeemed. After you've been down in here, been down in the world for so long, you become of the world, even though you came down as a light. So the Redeemer is coming to redeem us back, those that can be redeemed. Something to think about. A lot of us think that we can control the kingdom, where the power of the right hand of the Father is. I suggest each and every last one of you who think and feel that you are walking in the light and you are understanding spirit and truth, understand this. Learn about the right hand and the stretched out arm. Pull those verses out and study them. And then you'll realize all this darkness, you mean this type of power exists that could have wiped every darkness on the face of the earth away? And you mean this type of power exists? That's that power that the flesh deny. We deny the power therein. Therein what? The Father. He brought that power down in his only begotten, the part of himself he made of himself, to come down in the Son of Man, which was flesh. We just all over the place. And we are not walking, talking, we're not thinking, we're not functioning, we're not even praying in the light. And the light represent righteous, in the righteous way. Yah is the light. We're not praying in that area. We all over here in the darkness doing it and thinking it's all good, it's all well in our flesh. We can't tame our flesh. We can't get our flesh under the subjection to our spirit. We can't teach our flesh. We can't lead our flesh. We can't guide our flesh. We can't walk even in our flesh that will be pleasing to Yah. But when that Ruach come in us, it can do it all through our spirit, and our spirit tame our flesh. What it does, it gets it under the subjection to it, because our spirit is now willing to follow the spirit that rests within us, which is the Holy Spirit. Many call the Holy Ghost. Okay? So I, Sister Deborah, is just coming to let you know, the way that you think that you can fix yourself, there's no way. You can't fix yourself. You can't make yourself better. I don't care what situation an individual can find themselves in. Guess what? Yah, which the world calls God, can find you out of whatever you find yourself in that you can't get out of. I went into Psalms thinking that I'm going to find David. Listen to this. I'm thinking when I went into Psalms this morning, I'm going to find David talking about in that day. In that day. Now, David speaks of a day of like the judgment, but I was wanting David to tell me more about where I am at. And David said a lot, because a lot of the things he was experiencing is what I am experiencing. So yes, he told me about a lot about this day, but I was looking for more of in this day, the way it is to the T. But what I found David saying to me as a prophetess in the wilderness, I can feel David saying to me, Deborah, I can't really pinpoint very much of in that day that thou walking in, but I got a reason why. I can tell you that in that day, as there is a day even of judgment or a day of a book, okay, but I can't tell you because I was so busy, Deborah, and it was so sad to me to grip this. I felt within myself, David is saying, but I can't tell you about what you actually are experiencing in that midnight hour in which you are in. But I can sure tell you, if it's anything like the day that I walked in, I lived in, my life exists, it would have to be worse. David was telling me that he couldn't take me where I'm at, but he can tell me where he was going. And when he finished, it was about many of verses saying, in the day, in the day, in the day, in the day. I was like, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about in his day. It was so much going on. He didn't have anything to really focus on the day I am in to leave so much for me. He had to focus on that day in which he was in because it was so much. It was so much that he had to focus in this day to be worried about in that day that you're in. And then I began to just read his Psalms, and I began to read it where it's saying, and this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. I said, oh my goodness. David is talking about the hard times and the enemies and the hate and the wicked and the killing and the everything that was going on in this day, which was his day, to where he couldn't leave me enough to be able to tell you all to the utmost about the day we're in, because he was so concerned about the day, this day, which was his day that he was in. So I got to the point where I realized, I said, wait a minute now. He did really leave something for me because he's showing me, Deborah, the things that you even are experiencing in this day. It was this day for him. He experienced it. So all I had to do is listening to what he was saying. I said, but David, I was going through this because it was a time where y'all wouldn't hear him. It was like he turned his face and a deaf ear to him. I said, experienced that. Experienced it so many times. Then I began to see him saying it more than once in these Psalms. I was like, oh my goodness, I did experience that. I have experienced that. So what I learned is going back to David, David has had issues within his day. And it was so many issues, it overwhelmed him to the point he left us something for this day that we're in was like unto the day that he was in, his experience. So I had still something to go on regarding this day because he's matching what he was going through. Here it is. I can embrace it today. So I see the importance in why we should go back and read Psalms, because it'll have the answer in which we search for. Say, for instance, us trying to correct ourselves or trying to do better, as if the power is in our own natural hand to be righteous, to be just, to be upright, to even believe, to do good. We really think it's in our authority. We don't understand that it's not in our authority to make ourselves a way that will be pleasing to us. It has always been the creator authority to make us the best that he knows we can be. Because you would never know the best that you could be. Not out of this flesh. Not out of this flesh will you find the best that you can be. Only the Father himself knows the best that you can be in him, not in yourself. People find themselves being the best that they can be, and they wrap it around finances. They wrap it around all that they have, all that they got, and all that they're going to receive. But it's wrapped around mammon. It's where they feel they are reaching their best. But we are in an hour, not an hour, take that away, Deborah. We're in that day that even that too shall be taken from those who have had it all this time. That's the whole idea of the head being the tail and the tail being the head. Is he has to reverse things, and it is reversing, because I can't even imagine having everything and all that I need to have what I want, to get what I want, to do what I want. I can't even imagine that. Not when I'm drowning in the bottom of the ocean, 24/24. I can't even imagine that. But for somebody to have that ability to be there, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like for them to have to switch to be in the tail after they've been in the head. See, a lot of people think the head mean these rich people or these people who rule. No, the head means switching the dial. It's turning things the opposite way, in a way that one has been living. Now, if a person is living under that guideline of having and accomplishing and they have been the head, as long as they recognize the Most High Yah in the midst of where they're at, and they also support Yah on the earth, first and foremost in the kingdom, as he is orchestrated, as he has orchestrated it on the earth, his support, then it's different, much, much, much different. He already let them know that your gifts is already in the kingdom as you support those that's on the earth that I've sent. But it's just like people think head and tail mean only for certain people. No, it's for people who have been living a certain way all their living. They're going to become the tail. And the one that was the tail is going to become the head. Okay? And when I say the head, it don't mean so much better and so much great and all the materialistic things and all the wealth. No, he meaning switching the order, allowing those who have always had it good to see it another way and to feel it another way. And then those who have always had the struggle and had the hard times and had it the opposite, there to feel now vindicated in the way that Yah has brought them to the head. Now they're the light in it, you know? So it's a way that Yah is doing it. And it's not because he chose it to do it in this day because it was the horriblest day, but because it is the end day. It's time to reverse. Okay, so it does not mean the billionaires and the the movie stars is going to be the 10. It means everybody who had it a certain way for so long, and even that way today, and they feel that, I mean, it ain't it comes with a feeling. It does. They're going to get a taste of what it's like, because he got to take it from them so they can really see their hearts. Because right now, people can't see their hearts. They can't see they got a heart and heart. They can't see they got a wicked heart, but yet still proclaiming that they represent a Yah. He has to take them to the level of nothing. That's what he called tried by the fire. We all going to be tried by the fire, you guys. And I'm grateful that I have been tried by the fire. I'm constantly tried by the fire, and I'm okay with it, because I want to remain the way that I am, the way that I'm going to be, even to the very end of the last breath that I take. You see, I don't want to be even having that mindset that I'm the head and I got this, I got these, I got these, I'm this, I'm this. No, no, no. Yah has given me the ability, and he has blessed me in a way that, I could teach it, I could preach it, it would go over heads. You know why? People are so in tune with their flesh, they wouldn't even understand my mission in the spirit. But I believe even the ability to turn something from nothing into something. And that's it, anything. That's anything. I can turn something that was nothing into something. You see, that's a gift from the Spirit to allow me to understand. It ain't about having riches and silver and gold. It ain't about all that. Make best with whatever you have. And because who you are in me, I'm going to give you that blessing in your hand where you can turn that which is nothing into something with your own hands, Deborah. With your own hands. Now, I'm speaking this to you all in a way of showing you how the beginning of what I was saying, trying to make yourself pleasing to Yah, better to Yah. See, everything I just told you, it was what Yah did for me to make myself the best that I feel that I could be. And he gave me the ability to turn something into nothing. And I am so grateful, because when people even come to my place, they look at it and they say it's small, but it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I don't even think it's $10 I paid for just about everything in my place. And I ain't said $10 altogether. I'm just saying, I just thank God for that gift to be able to take nothing and make it something. Even if the reason why I can make it something, it makes me feel good that the gift that Yah has given my hand the ability to do, to show me that, you can do it with whatever you have. You can make the best out of it and make it look like you got something, even though you have turned it into something. Because you have the ability to decorate. You have the ability to take something that you might find for 50 cents. You have the ability to blow it into something that somebody think you done paid for. But I give him all glory, all honor, all praise. Everything he has done for me, you guys. Like today, I woke up so early, and all I'm thinking about while I'm waking up, when I woke up, is, oh, I got to get up. I woke up a little before 5, but all I was thinking, I got to get up. What? I got to go over to this townhouse. I got to go over here where this place is Festus. Festus. I hope I'm using the right word. With bed bugs. I got to go over there and clean it from top to bottom. I used to own Brown's cleaning service, but that was like 20, 30 years ago. My little old tail now, I got to do something I did 20 and 30 years ago. I got to go and flip a house all over from top to bottom. And it has nothing to do with me as far as the condition that it's in. And I got up this morning. I said, is this going to be my life living on this earth? Always having to, let me not keep whining. Let me just trust that Yah is going to see me through. And after it's over, I'm going to be able to look back at it and remember what I said to you all. He's given me the ability to turn nothing into something. I'm going to take that with me. I have to be there in the next couple of hours. I'm going to take that mindset with me, because even though you are what the heavens called you to be, chosen you to be, and wanted you as a servant to be, you still human. You still got them human feelings. You still a female. You still weak. In spite of people looking at you all cockeyed, thinking you strong, baby. Strong is he that's in me. Not myself that's on the outside, but he that is in me. That's my strength, my salvation, my redeemer, my keeper, my father, my I am that I am. He is my all in all. He's the power that's within me. He's the comforter that keeps me. He's the teacher that reveals things to me, and the teacher of all things. So I got a lot of help in me, even when my flesh can't seem to embrace it at times, because it feels like I'm just constantly repeating, doing things which is not benefiting anyone. You see, because it's just something over and over, something that just constantly. And you know what? My desire is ask the Father to do what he does best. And I don't want to interfere with nothing that has to do with life and death, because he can move you out of here that way. And then let those that are out here, let them go for what they think they know. I would not want that, but my Father has his own will and his own purpose. And I don't want to keep crying over it, because then he would do what he does best and remove me totally out of it. I know more than you think I know about the Most High God. So I say unto you, there's things that we will never, ever, ever, ever be able to change. Especially when we're trying to change the things that we cannot, because we think we got the strength and the power to do it, to override he that has all power. And we got the power to try to walk his way, to talk his way, to look his way, to dress his way, to feel his way, to talk his way, to preach his way. We ain't got nothing. He is the way. And the only way you can defeat all those ways that you don't have, that you think you have, you won't win. That's why in my prayers, help me to be the best that you know, Father, that I can be, for I know not. This flesh don't know the best you can be, people. This flesh don't know the good that you can be. This flesh don't know the excellent that you can be, the great that you can be. This flesh don't know that you the righteous that you can be, the humbleness that you can be. This flesh don't know the wisdom of Yah that you can be. This flesh don't know about that knowledge that you can be. Why? Because it rests in your spirit, and your flesh is not detached to it. But your spirit can get your flesh under the subjection to be over all of that. Why? Because the Holy Spirit in you, and he abide in your spirit. He teaches your spirit. He train and teach and tame your spirit so that it can get your flesh under the subjection. Never will it be your flesh following Yah, doing the will of Yah, being upright and just. It only comes from he that is greater in thee than he that is in this world. And don't forget, your flesh is in the world. It might not be of it, but it's in it. Okay? So I, Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it. Let me get prepared and get ready to rumble. And I say, I'll be back 7 p.m. Central Time. Shalom and shalom. I think I will. I'm not. Don't make it final, y'all, because I might be still doing what I'm about to do in 2 hours. But I say I'm going to work on being back at 7 p.m. Central Time live today. Shalom.